Hi my lovelies, welcome back. We're going to be doing an SRT group clearing, mini clearing on feeling overwhelmed. I'm hearing it a lot from people. I've experienced it myself recently, so it seemed like a good one to do. I might have done it before, very possibly, but let's get started, shall we? And ensure that you're 100% open to receiving healing before you get started. And then, yeah, here we go. Let's get stuck into this clearing, shall we? So here we are once again. So where are we running with feeling overwhelmed as a group? 0 positive and 100 negative. So it's obviously one that does need shifting. And in terms of consciousness, we're kind of at light status level. So incarnational is down here. Then we have spirit status, Holy Spirit, Christ status, and light status. And then ascended master 1 and so forth. And we have to go all the way to the top here. And all the way up here is an absolute minimum. We want to be at Radiant Love New Paradigm level as a minimum. It goes way, way, way beyond the page. So I'm just going to ask your high self teams to do the initial clearing. This is where the bulk of the clearing takes place, at the beginning and at the end in the mop-up process, where we're clearing anything that's leading to you feeling overwhelmed. And we've got a lot going on in the world, in the collective, and a lot going on personally as we're all shifting consciousness quite rapidly now. I was just talking to a friend the other day about how I felt back in 2012 that I'd done most of the bulk of the clearing that I needed to do. And of course we've always got stuff, all of us always. So everything will never ever be completely done, and it doesn't need to be. It's all about acceptance and surrender. But it's amazing the naivety the naivety I had back in 2012. And I've been doing this a long time, you know. I've been since the mid-90s. I've been clearing stuff and shifting and into the whole spiritual side. So but things have moved so rapidly since 2012. And you know how you have a very clear idea of how things are going to work out, and it just hasn't been anything like that. So but you know, that teaches us to surrender and accept, and every experience does, really, doesn't it? Certainly every challenging experience. Right, still clearing away. Okay, let's get that right. Some of my pages have replaced, as you can see. They look a bit cleaner, but some of them I haven't, which look a bit grubbier, so I'm getting there. Right, 6A, we're into master programs, discordant energy. Outside left, we've got fear coming up, obviously. Inside left, abandonment, escapism, abuse, spiritual suicide. Yeah, it's like not accepting you're a spirit being there. Okay, anything else? And do they have other lifetime roots? They do. Let's clear all of those across all time, space, and dimension. Sorry if my scar on my thumb is a bit off-putting at the moment. I burnt myself in the oven the other day, so it's just healing. I'm not one of these people with nice nails and nice hands, I'm afraid. So clearing those master programs, discordant energy, and any imprints as well of any of those. So we've got fear, abandonment, abuse, escapism, spiritual suicide. Clearing those away. Of course, we forget sometimes. When we get overwhelmed, we forget who we are, who we really are. And that's the eternal lesson we have to keep asking ourselves, who am I? We get caught up in our experiences and take life too seriously. And that's something I've been doing a lot of recently, taking life far too seriously. When we have challenge after a challenge, which I've had recently, and many people have had, you start to get weighed down by it if you let it. And I'm certainly guilty of that. I decided this morning to lighten the bleep up. I don't know if I can say swear words on here without it receiving a warning. So yeah, silly really, isn't it? Right, so chart 11. So I'm lightening the bleep up. It's too easy to take things seriously, and that's when we get caught up in the ego and its programs and everything else. And so miasm of the soul is like a fault in the programming there. Dysfunction of the mind, yeah, absolutely. Pre-programming and programs that the soul is unaware of. And we're not going to look into anything there. It's all at Lord of Lords level, which is the first expression of the living soul. We're just going to ask that they're cleared away by your high self teams. La da 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 da. Dee da 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 da. La da 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 dee da da. La da 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 da. All night. Do 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 do. In the name of love, gonna feel alright. Just sprung into my head, that one. Can't remember who did that. Is it Earth, Wind and Fire, or was it Four Tops or something? I can't remember. In the name of love. That's my cat sitting next to me making those noises. Right, that was a lot there. That was clearing. Goodness me. In the name of love and I feel alright, I'm gonna dance. Probably got the words wrong. All night. Right, King of Kings. Fire planet energy. Okay, let's clear the fire planet energy. Fire planet energy is always interesting when it comes up. I've talked about it before. Let's just get to it. It says the soul may be taking part in the creation of a planet, either as a supervisor or worker. The planet is in the molten state and the soul can pick up energy from the creative process. We have so many planetary systems and galaxies and dimensions, and yet we focus on our immediate solar system. But there's so many influences. Oh, right, that was a big yawn. A big yawn from me, a nice healing yawn. 16, 17, looks like 17, which is fine-tuning, which is Lord of Lords level, the first expression of the living soul. What do we have? Desire to suffer coming out. We don't want that running, do we? So let's clear and remove all desire to suffer from Lord of Lords level from you, at all levels of consciousness, from all your energy bodies as well. Something I learned the other day for anyone suffering from fibromyalgia that may be listening is have a look at the link with thiamine, vitamin B1. Taking very, very, very high doses of it, up to 1800 milligrams. And I'm not advising this, I'm asking you to look into it. It's your responsibility. Can reset an enzyme. I think it's an enzyme that is turned off in your DNA. And a lot of people, if you look on my playlist, interesting videos, there's a video about it. So have a look at that. And it can kind of switch it on, which has made a significant difference to people with fibromyalgia. And although the system, Robert Detzler, who downloaded this system from Spirit, he talks about spiritual parasites are the major cause of fibromyalgia, which they may well be, and it may be them that switched the enzyme off in the DNA. But there's quite a significant difference in pain from people taking these large doses of thiamine, vitamin B1, and apparently B1, lack of B1 is responsible for a lot of things. They're looking into lack of B1 or not absorbing B1 in Parkinson's and Alzheimer's as well as being a contributory factor. So it's and we're talking very, very high doses here. So it's interesting stuff. It's not for everybody, but have a look at it if you're interested. So there's quite a scientific video that I've got in my interesting videos. It goes into the science of what's in the DNA and the enzymes and the whole genetics of it. So it's based in science, and there's been a lot of scientific studies done with rats as well. But it's quite fascinating and encouraging. And a lot of people who've had fibromyalgia, who've started taking very high doses of thiamine, they've had huge positive results from it. Reduction in pain, increase in mobility, that kind of thing. So have a look if you are so inclined. Right, what are we looking at? Clearing the void, clearing for integrity of consciousness. So let's just do that. I felt I had to mention that because someone will be watching this video that maybe would benefit on it with it. It's also linked, there's also studies with IBS and thiamine, vitamin B1 as well, for the same thing, the enzyme being switched off, that IBS sufferers can have a massive improvement as a result of taking very, very high doses. So I think it's between 1400 milligrams and 1800 milligrams of thiamine, vitamin B1. And obviously it's got to be the right quality and your body's got to be ready for it. And I would highly recommend going to see a kinesiologist or someone like that first to get your body into the best condition it can be before going down that pathway. And you want to be able to absorb it, and as well if you want to go down that route. Okay. Okay, anything else? No, should we go to mop up? So let's just go to mop up then. So it was more higher level stuff. Apart from those initial master programs, it was more higher level stuff with regard to the overwhelm there. And spiritual suicide, which was interesting coming up, because we forget who we are. So we get into overwhelm, we get caught up in all the illusions of everything gets too serious, too heavy, and it's very serious and heavy out in the world at the moment. And a lot of people got a lot of health challenges coming up at the moment. This is all to do with the shift in consciousness, the jibby jabs, the viruses that are out there, the pathogens, the toxicity. I mean, there's so many influencing factors why people's health is challenged at the moment. So, and we can get very overwhelmed because we get caught up in it all. We've got to take ourselves out of that vibration and lift it. Get ourselves into acceptance and surrender and gratitude, and that will change the vibration. And as we change the vibration, it will in turn take us out of those health challenges and the heaviness. It's so easy to get caught up in that density of the heaviness, especially with everything going on in the world as well. It's super heavy stuff, but transformation was never a pleasant process. It's not all love, light, and focus on joy and creativity. It just isn't. It's transformation is destructive and can be very painful. And you know, there are many lessons to be learned throughout. But there you go. I won't go into all of that now. Are we done? Yeah. So where are we now? 100 positive, 0 negative. That feels a lot lighter. So I hope you're going to feel the benefits of that one. It's nice to have clean pages. So Radiant Love, new paradigm level again. There we are. There we go, all done for another day. So drink lots of water, and please allow 2 to 3 days in between these clearings for them to integrate. If you keep doing one after the other, it really is futile, because you're not getting to the depth that you need to get to. You're just kind of going over old ground. You've got to let them integrate first into the physical, and then once they're integrated, then go on to the next clearing, and that will clear at a deeper level for you. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, just pop them down in the comments. And if you want to work with me personally, all the details are in the details description section. So do please contact me. So sending you lots of love. Bye everyone.